Denox Life Blogs. Season 3, Episode 10, How I Got Fired from My Last Call Center Job. Hello everyone, this is Denox speaking once again, DSX Archive and everything else. So, I thought I finally come out with my side of the story on the allegations I've been going through one of my last jobs, which was a call center job. I'm not going to disclose the name of the company or say the name of any people or anything like that for privacy purposes, but I think I need to at least open up a little bit so people can understand what's going on in the workplace these days. So let's start off with this. Literally after this experience that I had, I never to be honest, I never want to approach a woman in the workplace with the intention of just being nice to them, wanting to start a conversation with them, wanting to be friends. And you may say, what's wrong with all that, Denox? I mean, you're just approaching a girl and wanting to look up for a conversation, right? You want to get to know the person better, right? Well, there are girls that are fine with that, or women. But the problem that I have is that on my experience, there was this one girl in the workplace. I think it was almost a year ago now. It was around early June of 2023. So what happened is that I was talking to this girl on Microsoft Teams. Yes, because we use Microsoft Teams in order to contact the other co-workers there in case we need help with something. And to be honest, of course I do all that, but once in a while when we all get bored and there's no calls coming in, we don't have much people to talk to or anything like that, I would go on Teams, I would see the name of a female there, and I will say, hello, this person, my name is so and so. I noticed that we're not taking calls right now, and I see that you're sitting not so far away from me, and I was wondering we could start a conversation to kill our boredom and stuff. That's how I do it with some of these women. Some of them were polite, some of them were open to me, but there was a couple, because you could have 9 girls that are fine with you striking a conversation stuff, but if the 10th girl thinks that you're a freaking creep for actually approaching her and wanting to meet up with her in person to get to know each other better, to talk a little bit, yes, automatically some girls out there will think you're a creep. And they literally reported me to HR the first time out of nowhere, to be honest. And I had a warning from the HR department. They were very nice about it. They said that using Microsoft Teams should be only for business related purposes, so it's fine. I understand that there's a protocol going on, and I apologize for that. And I tried my best not to do it again, so it's all good at that moment. And by the way, that wasn't in June, that was 2 months prior to that, or 3 months prior to that. I don't remember exactly when, but that was a few months before the last incidents. So unfortunately, she did tell me she has no interest in meeting me face to face and don't contact me again. So there are other females that are polite with me, and there are others that, unfortunately, because I may have said something that made her uncomfortable and I recognized it, she doesn't want anything to do with me. So whatever, I'm it's the type of thing, it's the work environment, you can't even do that. Let's be honest, I learned that the hard way. And let me get to the second incident that got me booed off the job, just to put it nicely. Okay, so in June 2023, I was starting to notice that one of the girls that was sitting near me in another room, basically, I kind of found her attractive. She seems to be in her early to mid 20s or something like that. She seems to be pretty nice. And then suddenly, once I found out her name, I decided to look her up on Facebook if that's the same person. I'm oh, okay. And I decided to add her on Facebook and start talking to her there. Trying not to use Teams for that type of purposes, of course. And then we hit it off decently well in the beginning. We were talking about video games, that she likes fighting games and all that stuff. We were talking about Super Smash Brothers, and I would like to like face her in Smash Brothers, but I noticed that she was a little bit cocky. She would tell me that she bet she can beat me and stuff, and I laughed it off. You know, it wasn't a big deal. I didn't took offense to that, to be honest. If she was that confident, I would have liked to face her in Smash. It never happened, by the way. And then, after that, the next day, I think that, you know, we were bored. We weren't taking calls. We were just sitting there waiting for clients to call, because the fact about this job that I was in, this call center job, the very last one I was in, more than 80% of the time that we've been working there, we've been doing nothing, literally. Like, there are times that we get a campaign and we actually take calls back to back. Would only last for a few days, and then we will be like weeks literally without receiving any calls whatsoever. So I had to come up with ways to pass the time, to be honest, because like I just could not just sit there, do nothing, and waste my time away without doing something productive. And it worked for a while, let's be honest. Yeah, before I get back to that lady, I just want to let you know that we were allowed at some point to look up videos on YouTube as long as they're educational and they're from TED Talks and stuff like that, which is funny. Because we weren't doing nothing at work. We were just sitting there just getting paid and all that stuff. We were literally not doing nothing whatsoever. So I think our managers, they allowed us to, at one point, to look up YouTube videos and all that stuff, TED Talks, educational videos. We could read books, of course, and we still was able to do that all this time. But when it comes to YouTube videos, at some point, management notices that something was going on, that productivity was low for some reason. Not that it affected me, because every time I took calls, I think I did a pretty good job. The work itself was not the problem. I did pretty well. The problem was with management. Let's just put it this way. There was a time that we were allowed to look at our cell phones for a little while, but then they kind of banned it a few months after. I mean, the whole time you couldn't really use the cell phone at work, which I understand, I guess, distractions and all that stuff. But when we were literally doing nothing at all, we were just sitting there. Let's be honest, most people take out the cell phone trying not to get caught, so they could like pass the time and they could check their stuff and what they need to check. You can't blame them for that. What else they're gonna do? What else do you expect them to do while we're just sitting there doing nothing, right? You get the idea, and that's the issue we're having here. Several months after I started working there, they had this policy where if you get caught with your cell phone, we are gonna write you up. I can't even explain how much times later on I got caught, because I'm not as good as hiding the cell phone as other people out there, I guess. The supervisor be walking around, and we're not taking calls. Keep that in mind. We're not even taking any calls whatsoever. We're just sitting there doing nothing, trying to pass the time with this 8 hours that we just dread sitting there. Hopefully we can just get off because we get paid hourly and stuff. This is why the 9 to 5 structure is pretty much stupid at this point. Like, the amount of work that we do is way less than the hours that we're required to be sitting there. And you know, sitting there for that amount of time doing nothing really plays with your mental health a little bit and your physical health as well. So it's really bad. So I had to do something. I'm a very productive guy. I'm a very creative guy. I cannot just sit there doing nothing. Like, that goes against my whole existence, to be honest. So, of course, you know, I was going to find a way around it. And at that point, I didn't even care, sort of, you know. Let's continue. Before we get back to that allegation. They got it more strict with the cell phone policies. They got it more strict with the YouTube watch. Now you can't even watch YouTube anymore. Not even for educational videos, even though you're doing nothing. Even for education. The management don't like it when you are focused on self-development within their work hours. Literally. Because most of the videos I watch are self-development. I can't be allowed to do that, and literally there are people that hides the tab of YouTube. Some people watch it for fun, I guess. Some people even play their Nintendo Switch, and there's sometimes that when the manager left, they're allowed to do it because the main manager already left for work that day. So I popped out my Nintendo Switch as well and tried to pass the time, because literally we were not receiving no calls whatsoever. We were just sitting there, we're not doing nothing, we are bored. And we gotta pass the time somehow, right? I will also read books. I will also write my diary. I would also, write down plans on what I plan to do whenever I'm off work. The other problem I had with the job is that they changed my hours constantly. That one moment I'm working from 10 o'clock a.m. to 7 p.m. and that's fine, but then suddenly I get forced to a 12 p.m. to 9 p.m. hourly schedule, and that sucks because I had to miss church for Wednesdays and Fridays. I couldn't go to church those 2 days. Even before that, I wasn't able to make it to church much either because, I would get there very late and all that stuff. Yeah, the schedule was bad. Let's be honest. My last schedule was 12 to 9 and I hated it with a passion because that means me getting home after 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. and I literally try to use that free time, that little free time that I have to do my videos, to talk with friends online from 10 to 12 or 10 to 1. Go to sleep, wake up, do another video project on my side hustle in the morning, and then go to work after 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. So that's the thing. Okay, now I don't want to drag too much about it. You get the idea how I feel about that. So let's get back to how I got fired from the job. So basically, I was wanting to open up and meet new people and talk to them. And I was trying to meet new women there, just, whenever they're taking a break, whenever they're not doing anything at all. Because common sense, I'm not going to talk to them while they're attending a call, of course. I'm not going to do that. And I never did. But whenever they're not doing anything, whenever they're in break, I would approach them. I would open up to them and talk a little bit about what we like and all that stuff. That's pretty much all I did with these women. I just strike the conversation. But since I guess I'm not the best looking person, or they may have felt uncomfortable by anything that I have said that I don't know, because they will never tell you. They literally will never tell you. Well, they reported me to HR for the second time. Yeah, I'm not joking around. They reported me to HR for the second time out of nowhere, and then they called me out of the room where I was working. They told me to log off and everything. I'm like, why they're telling me to log off? That's weird. They sent me to the lunchroom, and they told me that as of today, I have been terminated from the job, and they didn't give me a reason. They said that the client says that you have to go. So they literally didn't give me any reason at all. They literally didn't give me a reason. But you know why I find out later on why I got fired? Because there were people out there that came to my Discord server, and they told me all about it. Like random people that I don't remember ever giving them my Discord server, and because it was a private server, they literally went in the server and they told me, oh, a lot of people are talking about you, about me committing sexual harassment. That's bullshit. That is fucking bullshit. But the thing with sexual harassment is that literally it doesn't have to be sexual. You don't have to have bad intentions or anything like that. You just have to, you could say anything nice, be polite to a woman and all that stuff. But if the woman feels uncomfortable with you approaching them, they're gonna feel harassed. And that's what I noticed. That's what I have learned on how they react. And I'm like, for that very reason, going forward, if I ever work a 9-to-5 grind job ever again, because I'm trying my best to stay away from that toxic environment going forward, and finding a lot of gig work, online remote jobs, or a different job from the call center. Definitely not a call center. If I'm gonna work a 9-to-5, it's gonna be outside a call center, hopefully. I don't want to ever get back into the situation where I'm forced to actually apply for a call center because I have no one else who will hire me. I don't think that way. I think that there's so much opportunities out there. I just have to look for it. I just have to expand my circle. And for the most part, I've been able to make, like, I would say 30 to 40% of my paycheck. I'm working on my own. It varies. Sometimes I don't make much. Sometimes I make a lot. It all depends on the situation. So let's just put it that way. I'm not going to say anything more than that. But what you guys think about this? Was that just? Was that fair that I got laid off and they didn't explain a single reason why I got laid off from that job? And later on to find out that multiple women, let's just put it that way, they're all adults, multiple women were reporting me to HR saying that I'm a creep, saying that I harassed them and all that stuff, and I didn't got a chance to defend myself in that job. What do you guys think about that shit? Because I think that's unfair. But you know what, at the same time, I was already hating the job anyways. I was literally like planning to make my escape. So you did me the favor to kick me out in June of 2023. And you know what? I don't mind sharing this story at this point because I'm not with the company anymore. I see that they're posting jobs on Indeed several times to say it's the same job as before, and I don't want anything to do with that place anymore. I literally, like, the friends that know what I've been through there, they know that how I feel with this type of environment. I thought it was okay at first. The job itself wasn't the problem. I did pretty well. I performed great for the most part. Sure, I made some mistakes within the calls, but for the most part, my performance was pretty good. Was pretty above average. My issue was with management and, women reporting me to HR saying that I'm a creep. Just because I was trying to open up to them and talk to them and stuff. And now for that very reason, like I said, I'm not gonna talk to any more girls if I ever go back to a 9-to-5 job. Like, if a girl approaches me and we suddenly hit it off very well and we get along, okay, it's natural. But the days of me actually approaching a woman at the workplace and introducing myself and, wondering we could talk and get to know each other, those days are over. Literally, those days are over. I'm not gonna approach any women anymore because it's a risk today. It's an unjust risk because if you're a hot guy, you are a 10 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10, and you're approach women and they like you, they're not gonna call you a creep. They're gonna be interested in knowing you. But if you're not attracted to that female in general, then the chances of you being reported to HR, no matter how nice you are, because I never had any bad intentions with them. I never wanted to force anything with them. I'm just, I could be a little awkward, maybe. I could admit that. But at the same time, like, I was just trying to be nice to them. I was just trying to be polite and wanted to get to know them better. Maybe if things go well and she's still single, I guess. Because I don't know if half the girls are single. Most women are probably married. I have no idea. But, I just want to talk to them normally. But this is what happened. In my previous job, I never had this stupid bullcrap happening to me that they get reported to HR. This is the first job that does this to me. If there was another job that did it to me before, I just don't know it. But from what I know, that's the only job. I was really pissed when I found out the reason. Sure, they don't want to say, oh, it's me or stuff like that. They keep it to themselves. But a lot of people know it's me. Deep down, they know it's me. They don't tell it to some of my friends, and I'm still in touch with one of them today that works there. So, we're just checking on each other and, seeing our progress in life. But all in all I have to say is that my advice is, if you are not that good looking, or if you are nervous, you're better off not approaching any women at work. As a matter of fact, don't even get a girlfriend at work. Because if you ever break up with that girl, you're still going to see her at work. And you're going to be stuck there and you're going to be miserable. Going forward, if I ever get a girlfriend or if I ever get to know a girl, approach them, it's going to be outside of work. Because that's complete bullshit, honestly. That I got laid off because of that. I couldn't even defend myself. There was no fair justice there. All a girl has to do, they report on HR. They don't need evidence. And that's it. Let me know in the comment section below if you can relate to that. I would like to know, and I would like to talk about it with you, if anything, if you feel that way as well. Anyway, that's all I have to say. I'm about to go to sleep very soon. You all have a good night, and I'll see you all in the next time. Like and subscribe if you enjoy these type of videos. I'm hoping to do more like this later, based on other parts of my life or other motivational videos on Denox Life Vlogs. So I'll see you all next time. Denox out. Take care, God bless, and stay cool. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching this video. If you find this video informative, feel free to give this video a like and subscribe so you will be up to date with future life vlog videos I make. Any suggestions for life topics, you can also leave it in the comment section below. Hope to see you again.